back to this Roger Stone story. The stunning reversal in the case of President Trump's longtime friend Roger Stone is raising questions about political interference from the White House. All four career prosecutors abruptly withdrew from the Stone case after the DOJ overruled their recommended sentence just hours after the president called it unfair in a tweet. So CBS News Chief Justice and Homeland Security correspondent Jeff Pegues joins me now from the Justice Department to really dig into this. So, Jeff, I think what people sort of need to know about these sentencing recommendations is that they're not arbitrary. It's not because prosecutors just don't like Roger Stone. There's sort of, for lack of a better word, sort of an equation that they follow to determine what sentence to suggest. So what was Roger Stone's original recommended sentence, and what did the DOJ say about it?
Well, the prosecutors who worked on the original sentencing recommendation were looking for 7 to 9 years behind bars, and their reasoning was, listen, this was a serious crime. The defense attorneys in this case essentially went into the courtroom before this jury and said, hey, it doesn't matter that Roger Stone lied. And so the prosecutors who were working on the case wanted to send a message that it is important for law and justice that people who go into a courtroom tell the truth. And so their recommendation was 7 to 9 years behind bars. Well, the Justice Department officials did not like that after the president's tweet where he called the original recommendation horrible and a miscarriage of justice. So after that tweet, and at this point we don't know if there was a link between the tweet and senior DOJ officials' actions in this case, but DOJ officials were not happy with that recommendation. They thought that it would not be appropriate, and what they have done in a filing late yesterday is essentially tell the judge, hey, you decide what kind of sentence he gets, but we do not believe that the 7 to 9 year recommendation is appropriate.
Okay, so you said, at this point, we don't know whether or not the president kind of put his thumb on justice there by tweeting out his criticism. But like I pointed out, there's a sort of guidelines when it comes to these sentencing suggestions. So what did the DOJ have to say when sort of issuing this reversal? Did they make any, did they explain why they thought that this was too heavy-handed, and did they sort of justify a lighter sentence by pointing out things in the case, or anything to give us any more, I don't know, to illuminate?
Well, in their filing, they did say that Roger Stone, it would be appropriate for him to get some jail time, but they just thought that the 7 to 9 year time frame was too excessive, and again, they left it up to the judge. But as you note, there are guidelines here, and when he was convicted on all 7 counts, I stood outside the courthouse and said that night on CBS Evening News that he faced up to 50 years behind bars for all of the counts. These are serious counts. Obstruction of justice, lying to Congress. That's what he is accused of doing, and also threatening a witness. So, these are serious counts, and that's what these prosecutors who worked on the case, that's how they saw it. That's why they withdrew from the case in this apparent protest yesterday. So you just don't see this type of activity, if you will, for lack of a better term, this early in the morning, unfolding surrounding a high-profile case like this one. And that's why you had people raising questions about whether there was undue influence in this case, whether the president's tweets led to senior DOJ officials going against the prosecutors who secured this conviction of Roger Stone, the president's longtime friend. There is no doubt that they are close friends. I've talked to Roger Stone over the years, and he would tell me that they were in constant contact. So did the president's tweets, did the White House have undue influence over DOJ's actions?
So, Jeff, all really great questions. Is anyone officially looking into that? Is there an investigation?
Well, not yet, but within minutes of DOJ coming out and officially saying that they were going to reverse what the prosecutors did, you had Democratic members of Congress calling for an investigation into DOJ's actions. Also, you have former DOJ officials, granted former officials in the Obama administration releasing statements saying that this is the type of activity that is beyond the pale. This just does not happen in a Justice Department. And again, it raises questions about William Barr and whether he is trying to protect the president at all cost and doing the president's bidding.
Yep.
You know, so this is the kind of controversy that will continue. Roger Stone's sentencing is next week. So obviously there is going to be a lot of attention on that day and what kind of sentence he gets. You know, the judge, I'm sure, is aware of what is happening. So it will be interesting to see how she now reacts.
It will be. Jeff, thank you so much.